Welcome back to Homemaking with Mima. My name is Wendy. In today's video, we're going to be doing 2 chicken freezer meals that I am going to be making, but I'm going to be gifting them to a family that's in need, and I'm going to bring you along with me. I'm going to be cooking this whole box of bow tie pasta. I'm just waiting for the water to come to a complete boil. I'm going to boil these and then I'm going to run them underneath cold water to stop the cooking process, so that way then I can continue with my freezer meal preparation. So in this freezer meal that I'm going to be giving this family is going to be that the cooked meat that I cooked, the cooked chicken legs, the greater value ones, but I was curious about how much meat came off of them. So I've thawed that out, and I'm using stuff I have at home, except for I did buy the sour cream and I bought that a little bit ago, and I wrote on there for no one to use it at home. Anyway, it's going to consist of some of this chicken. I had a gravy packets I'm going to use, sour cream, parsley, a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of white pepper. I still have some of that to use up. A little bit of salt because the gravy is salty. And I have my bow tie noodles in the refrigerator. I cooked them, rinsed them underneath cold water, and I'll bring them over when I'm ready for them. And so what I'm also going to do is separate the smaller pieces for chicken noodle soup, which is the other meal that I'm going to make for them. So I have the chicken and the noodles, the bow tie noodles, in the big bowl here. And I am going to mix the seasonings in with the gravy. It'll just get combined much better. Quarter teaspoon of salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and that white pepper. I still have some left in there, so I guess I won't be using that up today. And then what else I'm going to put in is my homegrown parsley. Start out with a heaping teaspoon, mix it up. Looks good. All right, so here's the cream base of it. So now I'm going to be adding this whole, it's 8 ounces. Maybe I'll add half of it. So I'll add half of it, stir it up, taste it, and then we'll see. So it's going to make this like a creamy chicken bake. Okay, let me get a spoon. Looks really good, and it's going to coat well. I think it needs more salt. More salt, and I'm going to put more onion powder. I'm just winging this, so I don't have anything I'm going off of, but I don't want to overkill either. And I'll go less than a quarter of the garlic powder. A little bit more parsley. Let me get another spoon. Much better. Much, much better. All right, let me get this cleaned up and then I'll bring you back. So here I have the bow tie noodles. That's just sour cream when I scooped it out. The chicken. And here's that gravy packets, the sour cream, and all the seasonings that I just put in. It's going to be nice and creamy. All right, I am going to scrape the rest of this out, and then I'm going to get this into the pan. I got these at Walmart. The Dollar Tree ones are just so flimsy, and you end up having to use two to support it. So I am just gonna start getting some of my foil pans if I'm gonna gift them away at Walmart. And this is the deeper one. I don't know what size it is. It doesn't say. So let me get this all scraped out. Waste not, want not. All right, and I'm gonna get some cheese. I'm gonna sprinkle some cheese in it, and I'm gonna put some cheese on it, on the top of it as well. I'm not gonna put too much. I don't want the cheese to overpower it. All right, so this is what I just created. That chicken that I cooked up from the chicken legs, from the Greater Value frozen chicken packet bags, bow tie, pasta, gravy packets, sour cream, onion powder, garlic powder, pepper, salt, and parsley, and now cheese. Now I'm just gonna get it into here. See how well I can do this. I'm hoping it'll all fit in here. It should. It's a pretty deep pan. Yes, it is going to fit. I know it doesn't look that appetizing, but it tasted really well. It tastes really good. All right, I'm gonna get a glove and sprinkle some cheese on top of this, and then I'm gonna get some parchment paper and the top for it as well. Okay, so I got all this cleaned up. I got the cheese sprinkled on the top, and this is a heavy casserole. As I normally do, I spray some parchment, put that on top so that it helps prevent the cheese from sticking. And cover it with foil. And I am going to be wrapping this in saran wrap. All right, let me get it wrapped up in saran wrap, and then I am going to write what it is and what to do on this little sheet. And my final wrap of the saran wrap, I'm gonna lay this on there and make sure that it gets connected to it. It'll be laying in there with it. That way then they know not to cook with that on. Now, for their second meal, I will link the chicken video in the description box below, because you will see that I did make some chicken broth out of some of the bones that I had from that. And that is what I'm using here. I had to heat it up because it was still really frozen. So all this is gonna be is chicken and noodles. That is it. I'm not gonna put any vegetables or anything in it. If they wanna have vegetables or fruits, they can have it on the side. This is gonna be an extremely hearty chicken noodle soup. And I am using these Amish egg noodles that I bought just for soups because I like their noodles. I like them. They hold up. They hold up in soups. So I'm gonna turn this back on and bring it to a boil so that I can get these noodles starting to cook. And then I'm gonna let this completely cool so I can put it into a container and freeze it. And it should reheat really well. I'm going to freeze it in this sherbet container. So that way then they don't have to feel like they have to give me back my container. They can just throw it away. So I'm going to put what I do get in here. If there's any leftover, we might actually eat it tonight for supper, even though it's really warm out. It's like in 75 today. But you know what? Soup's good for the soul. So I'm going to put what it is and the instructions on it here and the date that it was made. Whoa. Bringing it to a boil, letting the noodles cook. All right, folks, that's gonna wrap this up. I can't put the chicken noodle soup in the container until it cools down because that was at a rapid boil. And I got a really nice hearty chicken casserole for them. It's definitely gonna be 2 meals. 2 meals worthy in the casserole. And the chicken noodle soup, I'm only gonna do the sherbet size because it is in August. It's still really warm here. It's not really soup season. But at least it's a nice hearty meal for them. And all that's in here is the chicken broth, the homemade chicken broth that I did, the meat, and the Amish noodles. And I like using the Amish noodles when I'm making soup because they don't mush up. That's what I've found. So I get them at Walmart if anyone is interested at all. So I was really glad to see how much meat that I got off those greater value frozen chicken legs that come in the bag in the freezer department. I got just a little bit over a pound and 7 ounces. I was just curious at it. And I will put that video in the description box below. And I want to do the chicken thighs next. Just curious there. So I'm gonna wrap this completely up. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up, share with family and friends, and I want you folks to make it a really great day.